Uh, a very good afternoon to you all. Welcome back to our online session. So, in this lecture, we shall focus on writing skills. Block three, writing skills. Okay, block three writing skills of you know of the course Business Communication MCOM 105. Okay, so in previous lectures, we completed block 2 effective listenings where we learned about how listening plays uh, a vital role in communications. So today we'll move to block 3 writing skills uh, to see how writing is one of the most important skills in business communications. So every day in offices, people write emails, letters, notices, reports, resumes, and so on. So clear writing creates good professional image, and while poor writing causes confusion and mistakes. So this block will help you learn how to plan, draft, edit, finalize, business messages. So you will also learn about different types of business letters, official documents, and job-related writing such as resumes and application letters. So writing is not just about difficult words, not about simply using complicated words, but about it is all about clarity, clarity, you know. Correctness, and purposes. So by the end of this block, you should feel confident in writing professional documents. So now let's look at the contents. Today's lecture's contents. So first, we will begin with a recap of previous lectures so that we can clearly connect listening skills with writing skills. Second, we will discuss the learning goals. These learning goals tells us what you are expected to learn after completing block 3. And then we will move to the core topics of discussions that include unit 8, planning business messages, drafting, rewriting, editing, final revision. Block 9, business letters such as request letters, good news, bad news letters, and persuasive letters. Then unit 10, sale letters, collection letters, office memorandums, notice, and circular. And finally unit 11, writing a resume and letter of applications. So after that we will look at the assignment questions for the next class. Finally, we will conclude the lecture with a summary and next steps. Okay, so now let's move on to the recap and today's focus. So, in the previous lecture, we discussed listening skills. We learned about the principle of effective listenings, factor affecting listening, oral, written, video sessions, modern communications, modern communication tools, and non-verbal communications. So listening and writing are closely connected. A good writer is also a good listener. When you listen carefully, you understand uh, any kind of instructions clearly and write better messages. So today we move to block 3. Here the focus is on written communications, where in business and professional context. So we will study how to plan messages before writing, how to choose the right words, how to present information clearly and professionally. So remember, block 2 taught us how to receive messages properly, and block 3 teaches us how to uh, send messages effectively. So now let's move on to learning goals. Let us understand one by one, point by point. The first objective is to understand the process of, what, uh, planning and drafting business messages. This means learning how to think before writing. The second objective is to identify different types of messages, different types of business letters, and their purposes. So each letter or message has a specific aim or goal. Okay. The third objective is to apply appropriate, formats for official and professional writing, because format is very important is in business communication. So the fourth objective is to develop clear and structured and effective writing skills. So these objectives guide you in learning, this block 3 writing skills. If you follow, if you follow this, properly, your writing will become, more professional and effective. Okay. So now, what are the learning outcomes? After completing, block 3, you should be able to, draft effective messages using proper planning and, revision. You should be able to write, business letters according to different situations. You should be able to prepare professional documents such as memos, notices, resumes. Okay. And finally, you should be able to use writing skills effectively in academic work and workplace communications. So these outcomes, focus on practical writing skills that will help you in job and in any professional life. Okay. So now let's move on to the introduction of writing skills. So now, see, writing is a very structured process, and it is a key part of business communication. It does not happen suddenly. Good writing requires planning, drafting, editing, and revising. So, especially in business communication, writing should always be clear, polite, and purposeful. So the reader should understand, the message easily without any kind of confusion. So writing skills help in creating a professional image. Well, written messages shows seriousness, responsibility, and respect. Okay. So now in unit 8 you see this: planning business messages, rewriting, editing, drafting, and final revision. Now let's look into them one by one. First we have planning business messages. Now we begin. Now we begin with unit 8, which is about what? Business planning a business message or business messages. So planning is the first and most important step in writing. So good writing always starts with good planning. Okay. So planning a business message means taking clearly before taking things clearly, or taking you uh, you to think clearly, right? Take things clearly or seriously and start thinking of your topics. And then you write. That is the planning. You have to choose a certain topic, right? So you have to take up a certain topic and start thinking. Okay. So that is quite important before any kind of writing. Otherwise, you'll be writing unnecessary things without thinking. Okay, that's why. So, like you must first understand why you're writing, right? What what you want to achieve by writing this? Okay, that is about planning. So the first step in planning is, as I said, you have to identify the objective. Ask yourself, why have you taken up that topic or objective? Why am I writing this message? Is it uniform, request, explain, or persuade? And next step is analyzing the audience. You must think about who will read your message. So their position, knowledge, and expectation also matters. All right. So the third step is selecting the content is very important. Choose only relevant information. Do not include unnecessary details. Okay. If you simply include unnecessary details, your message will be your message will not be standard good enough. All right. So the fourth step is organizing ideas logically. Arrange your points in a clear order so the reader can easily follow your message. All right. So that is all about planning a business message. Next we have drafting, editing, and finalizing. After planning, what do? The next step is drafting. Drafting means what? Converting your ideas into written form. This is called the first draft. Okay. So in the first draft, what will happen? You should focus on expressing ideas freely. Do not worry too much about mistake at this stage. The next step is revising and editing. Editing means checking your writing carefully and removing errors. This includes correcting grammars, spelling, and punctuations, whether proper punctuations are used or not. Okay. So next, rewriting also helps improve clarity, tone, sentence structure. So you may add or remove words to make the message clearer. The final step is the final draft. This is the polished and professional version of your message. It is ready to be sent or shared to the receiver. Okay, so good business writing always goes through these steps, not just casual writing. So writing once is never, enough. So revisions, makes writing effective and professional. Okay. So next is business letters, request letters, good news and bad news letters, and persuasive letters. So a business, as we can see, first let's begin with business letters. Um, a business letters is a formal written communication in professional and official situations. Uh, Business letters are very important even in the age of email. See, um, now we use more email than offline, letters or also for documentation, right? Still relevant, these business letters. So your business letters should always be clear, polite, and concise. The language should always be simple and professional. Okay, there are different types of business letters, like such as request letters, good news letters, bad news letters, and persuasive letters. So I will show an example of request letters later in the slides. One example of this, one type of business letters. Okay, so each type of letter has a different purpose. So, but all follow basic principle of clarity and clarity. So business letters create a professional image of the organization, and poorly written letters can damage relationships and reputations. So learning how to write business letters um, properly, I mean to know how to write business letters properly is very crucial for your future career, or in any professional life or situations context. Okay, so now what are the types, as I've already said here, what are the main types of business letters? I've already mentioned though. So now let's try to understand one by one. The first we have a request letter. What is it? What kind of letter is this? A request letter is written to asks for information, uh, permissions, or assistance. So the tone should be polite and respectful. And what about the good newsletters? It is written to share positive information, such as approval or success. So the tone should always be friendly and encouraging. And next we have a bad news letter. A bad news letter is written to give negative information, such as rejections or refusal. And here the tone should be a bit careful, polite, and sympathetic. And next we have persuasive letter. It is written to influence the reader, such as convincing customers to buy a product or accept an idea. Okay, so each letter, uh, each letter types, or each letter type requires a different tone and approach. Okay, so understanding this help you write effective business letters for different situations. Okay, now we move to next slides. Before that, Here is an example of here I have shown you in the previous slide. I have shown you types of business letters, right? Like request good news letters, bad news letters, persuasive letters, right? I have also tell you what exactly they are, how the language should be, right? So here is an example of one of the type of business letter, that is a request letter format. It is from from the SLM page number 150. You may look into it from the SLM. So this is the structure of request. Request letter. First, you begin with date and the recipient full name, recipient title, position, if known, the recipient company, organization name, recipient address, and city, state, and zip code, and then subject. Request for what? Specific, topic, nature of request. What exactly you are requesting, and then come, like this, respected sir, dear, or whatever it is. So and then you start your writing. Okay, and then after writing, as I said in the previous slide, uh, the language should be what? Uh, the tone, the language tone should be, polite and respectful. Okay, you have to pay attention to that. After writing the message, main body of the message, main body of the message, you have to write warm regards and then your name and then your contact details. Okay, so this is the structure of request letter. Next we have appearance and tones of letters. There is what exactly it is? This slides, in this slide you can see what should be the appearance and tone of business letters. Okay, so appearance, includes like layout, formatting, and spacing, as you can see here in the previous slides. Layout, formatting, and spacing. Okay, so a well-formed, letter, a well-formatted letter, looks professional and neat. And tone refers to what? The attitude you express through words. So business letters should use formal and polite language. In good news letters, the tone should be positive and cheerful, right? In a bad news, the tone should be polite and careful, not cheerful here. It is careful, but in good news, it is cheerful, positive, and cheerful. And in bad news letters, it should be polite and cheerful. The writer should show respect and understanding. In persuasive letters, the tone should be convincing, okay, but not forceful. You cannot force someone, via letters or application. Right? When they try to convince in a persuasive letter, try to convince, but not forcefully. Okay, that should be the tone of persuasive letter. A good, appearance and correct tone, make the message effective and respectful, and readers respond better to well-written letters. Okay, that's why tone, appearance and tones of letters are very much important. Right. Next, let's move on to the next slides. Let's shade letters, collection letters, office memorandum, notice, and circulars. So now let's look at the sale and collection letters. A sale, letters is written to promote a product, or service. Its main purpose is to what? Create interest and attract customers. Sale letters should be clear, positive, and persuasive. Okay, and on the other hand, a collection letter is to recover pending payments while asking for money. It is important to remain polite. and professional. Maintaining goodwill is very important. So both sale and collection letters must use proper format, respectful language. So good writing is in this letters help build customer trust and long-term relationship. Okay. So next, office memorandum notice circular. So what are this? An office memorandum, commonly um, also called a memo, is used for internal communication without within an organization. So it is usually short and direct. Memos, help share information, uh, instructions, or reminder among staff. So a notice is a short, very short. A notice is a very short and official message. It is used to inform people about important events, rules, or announcements. Notice are usually displayed on where, like notice boards, right? Sent digitally sometimes. Okay. So a circular, and next is we have a circular. A circular is used when the same information must be sent to a large group. Large group of what? Large group of people. All right. So it is commonly used in what? Offices, institutions, or organizations. So for all this, memorandum, notice, circular, uh, clarity and proper formats are very important. So the language should be simple, formal and easy to understand. So good writing in memos or memorandums, notices, or circulars, ensures smooth internal communications and avoids confusion. Okay, this is all about office memorandum notice. And here I have uh, provided the example of memorandum. The sample of memorandum from SLM business communication, page number 166. First, what do we have? Date, and then from, memorandum from whom, like I said, director here, and subject of memorandum, and then the body of the memorandum. All right. Next unit is about writing a resume and letter of application. So first we shall begin with resume. So a resume, what is this resume? A resume is a formal documents that give a what? That will give a summary of a person's educations, skills, experience, and achievements. It is used when applying for a job. So the main purpose of of a resume is to create uh, a good first impression. Whom to whom? On the employer. Okay. So a resume should include personal details, educational qualifications, skills, experiences, if any. Okay, and a good resume, in a clear, brief, and relevant uh, information is very important. So it highlights, strength and ability efficiently. All right. So learning how to write resume is very important for your career. Okay. So now next is letter of applications. So now let us look into what exactly is the letter of application. Okay, which is actually written along with every resume. So the purpose of this letter of application is to introduce yourself and explain why you are suitable for the job. A letter of application actually has a clear structure. The introduction mentions the job and the sources of information, and in the main body highlights the qualifications, skills, and experience related to the job. So in the conclusion, politely requests consideration and expresses willingness for an interview. Okay, so the language should be formal, polite, uh, and also professional. It's very important, professional. The letter should be brief and very much focused. Okay, a well-written application of letters increases the chances of getting what shortlisted in a job or selected or something like that. Okay, so these are very important. So in today's lectures, we have covered all types of uh, writing skills, how to write, right? What the language should be, what the tone should be. Okay, so these are the main points we have discussed today. So if you have confusion with the letter of applications, resume writing, and other types of business writings, if you have any doubts, more clarifications, examples, feel free to tell me, you let me know, so that and I can give you more examples, send you more examples, and explain to you more. Explain to you further. Okay, so you are free to contact me for that. So now, in the next class, we have assignment for the next class. Here, you have to you prepare this as a kind of self progress. How far you have understood the lecture, or this block 3, that is writing skills. So based on our lectures, I have given 3 questions. So go through the lectures again, go through your SLM, and then attempt these questions in your own words. All right. So next, in today's lecture, what have we covered? We have covered, there are what are the key writing skills. What are they? Like planning, drafting, editing business letters, official documents, and job-related writings. Right? These are the thing we have covered. And in the next lecture, we shall discuss about the report writing. So, please go through, sorry, this is block 4. Yeah, it's block 4. In the block 4, please go through the units of block 4, so that when you come to next class, you understand what you understand better. You will understand better what I'm explaining, what I'm teaching you. Right? That's why please kindly go through the units of block 4 report writing, so that you are not confused during the lecture. Right? It's very important to go through before coming to excellence. So with this, we con we conclude today's with this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you so much. See you in the next lecture.